Alrighty, what's going on everyone? We are here with week 4 of Sandbox. We are going up against Flamingo. I know him as Wade. I'll be referring to him as Wade throughout the battle. Not much you can do about that, really. So we're going to load up... I'll dump these in here for the Terra types. So we've got Zorua, Alolan Grimer, Dratini, Mankey, Slowpoke, Galar, and Hormy. So another case of bring all the good stuff against Master because we're not very fun. Dratini Terra Steel this week, which is something new. Grimer Bug, Zorua Poison, Mankey Ghost, Slowpoke Dark, and Hormy Flying. Okay, so... what is there an initial game plan going into this? Kinda. We're gonna be keeping eyes on... I felt pretty good with the Snivy lead. Just wondering what I want to pair with it is the question of the day. I'm weirdly thinking something along the lines of Fuecoco, but I'm also kind of thinking something along the lines of Mienfoo. But I think I will go Fuecoco for the game 1. And we'll have... Sotodle, Mienfoo seems probably like the best thing in the back, and I'll be keeping eyes on things here. Load in chat, GLHF. Okay, so Wade is the other Australian in the league. We train together, we know each other really well, and he knows a lot of this team quite well as well. So he's gone ahead and led there with the Hormy and the Slowpoke. Not really sure what the main game plan is here, but we'll have to look at having a feel for it a little bit. I think what I kind of want to do, just at this current point in time, is maybe looking at getting up a potential screen. I'm thinking probably a Reflect. And I think on the Fuecoco side, I'm going to attempt to throw a Wisp into the Grimer for the time being. There's no Fire Terror, so there's not really anything to sort of stop that. So yeah, there's the Fake Out coming there from that. That's fine. Reflect goes up. There could be a Trick Room that comes out here. And if it does happen, that's fine. Yeah, so there's a Trick Room. Not too much of an issue there. So what I'm probably going to do, at least for Snivy this turn, I will probably look at eyeing off going for Protect. And he's not too sure what I wanted to do with Fuecoco, so... I'm thinking potentially throwing off a Wisp. The Wisp into what is the question? I am still kind of thinking the Slowpoke. I don't think he would bring Trick... I don't think the Zorua, like, actually gets Trick Room. So none of these are the Zorua to speak of. So we've got the Protect going out there, which is nice. There's the Zen Headbutt coming out from there. So we land this Wisp, we should be in a pretty decent seat. And we are, which is quite nice. So we've got the Reflect up. We've got the burn on the Slowpoke. Do we see like a Lumberry or anything like that? No. Okay, we do see a Super Fang coming out on the Fuecoco as well. That's popped us right down to Citrus Berry range. So he knows we're Citrus, which is kind of fine, to be honest. I'm thinking we might throw out a little bit of damage pressure here, I think. I think I'm going to throw it out onto the Hormy, just by going for the double pledge for the time being. Kind of get that, the wildfire kind of effect. The Sea of Fire, I believe, is, what the game refers to it as. There's a Zen Headbutt there, so that's doing nothing after everything there. So we are going to go for the Fire-Water Pledge combination. That will allow us to bypass the Snivy speed, and get a good hit there, and get a little bit of passive on that as well. So there's an eject button. I don't know how that works with Pledge. I am going to jot that down that there is an eject button there. Okay, so the Sea of Fire is set up, which is really nice. So eject button, I'm just keeping that to the side just so I know, because I know in some of my other games I have been a bit slack in that regard. So, with the Sea of Fire plus, like, the chip from the burn as well, we're going to be getting, like, a good little bit of chip there into the Slowpoke. So, what I'm thinking now there may be opportunity to get Mienfu or Sotodle in. How many turns of Trick Room are we have left? There's 2 turns of Trick Room left. Okay. So I'm thinking we could probably swap Snivy out and go into Mienfu. And for Fuecoco, Protect does seem like the best routing to go here. But I also feel like... yeah, I still think Whisper's probably the best way to go about that. If there's a Lumberry on the Grimer, or like a Rawsberry if he's really feeling himself, he will have the option to throw those out. The Protect coming out there from Ronald, that is not really too much of an issue there. Are we going to see another Zen Headbutt into... wait, we're going to see a crit there. Really unfortunate there. Fuecoco being able to take a lot of those physical hits quite well. But the Grimer probably won't be in a great spot to have a look at protecting again. We still have Alteras on deck as well, but I would really like to sort of slow the Grimer down a little bit if possible. And I think the best way for me to do that is to have a look at maybe scouting for something like a Covert Cloak on the Slowpoke. So I'll look at faking that out. Fuecoco, I think if the screen up, we're not the most threatened by anything. But I do think we want to fake out the Slowpoke and still look to attempt to go for that Will-O-Wisp onto the Grimer there, just to see if we can get it. So we do get the switch there. Is it back into Pawmi? It's into Krusty, which is the Pawmi. And it's damaged, so it is the actual Pawmi. And we do get that one out there. It is Covert Cloak. Okay, so that is handy to know. And that hit just kind of bounces off. And we are going to get a good hit there onto the Pawmi as well, which is quite nice. Unfortunately, I don't think it puts us in an amazing seat to go for said Trick Room. Pawmi kind of fast as well. I do kind of want to get a gauge on how fast Pawmi is. So we'll have a look at that. We do see the burn coming out from there as well. So Trick Room dimensions have returned to normal now. I do think we just swing a knockoff and a fiery pledge, just both of them into the Slowpoke there to have a look at getting that picked up there. Just sort of deny Trick Room going forward. It is fast, but we do take that there, which is really nice. I'm going to put Clacket's Cloak. We haven't really revealed anything else too much just yet. We are going to see a knockoff come out, so that will probably pick up the Grimer. And then we'll have a fire move thrown into that slot, the Fire Pledge. I do believe this week we are unaware because there are a lot of boosting options on Wade's draft. So we did want to kind of have a little bit of a cover check into that. He's got to do a bit of thinking about this. He was probably expecting that to pick up the Fuecoco. We do have quite a lot of bulk on the Fuecoco. Pennywise is the last one. It is the Zorua, not coming out disguised as anything. So we do get the knockout there from Mienfu onto that one. So that is Slowpoke down, and we are going to get a good little bit of chip here from there. Look at that, excellent damage there. And the Sea of Fire is going to be doing some good damage there to the Zorua as well. The Sea of Fire has disappeared now, but that is honestly not too much of a burden. We do see Ronald come out here now. What I kind of want to do is just look at going for a knockoff into the Zorua and looking at just protecting Fuecoco this turn. Just kind of want to keep Fuecoco on the field, but still kind of want to keep it alive just through this turn. There might be a quick targeting into that, which we do see, which is really nice. And we're going to see the knockout come out this turn onto the Zorua there. So really nice double KO there from the Mienfu. Crit obviously didn't matter, but because it's Wade, I could see like some... Oh, Scarf! Okay. That's big news. I'll pop that down there under the Zorua. Did he get the poison? No, he didn't. Okay. That's good. Let's scarf. And there is the Hormy there. I forget how fast our guy is this week. He's not that fast. I do kind of wanna... I think we go for the upper hand into it. And I think we go just for the switch into Snivy here. Snivy, the most it's going to do is probably set up a screen. Fuecoco, if we can have the option to... We can potentially get it back in to set up another Fire Seed just for more rounds of chips. So Total should be able to run through the late game as well. We've seen the upper hand there, so there's no fake out from the Poor Me. That's not a problem. Does see the Volt Switch into it. We are going to take that pretty well with the Snivy switch in there. And we might see the Poison Jab. You take out the Mean Fruit, not a problem at all. We are perfectly content with that. I am probably going to run through and run up that there. There is a burn on there. I do believe Fuecoco will get the credit for said knockout, which is pretty nice. Reflect has worn off as well, but I am simply just going to go into Fuecoco here, and I'm going to go for a Reflect and a Will-O-Wisp into this slot here. And if we do make it through said turn, we will get to scout for like a Shadow Sneak or anything of the sort like that, which could come through, and yeah, could be a bit nasty, but we'll run through. So we do have the Reflect up again, so the relatively slower end of playing is doing nice for us. We do hit the Whisk there as well. Now we will get to see if there is a Lumberry on that or not. I put the cloak in on the wrong Pokemon. Do we see a Lumberry? We don't see a Lumberry, but we do see Fuecoco living on one, dude. That's big news. So we will move that off the sheet there. And what I will do is honestly probably just still get up that Sea of Fire again, just for that little bit of chip. No real reason not to. This constant chip that's going to be putting on... It's putting that really good pressure onto like a lot of these bulky bonds, which is kind of what we wanted to go with for the build of this team. And we see that Sea of Fire just sort of go around the team there again. So, dude, Fuecoco. Absolute monster work there from Fuecoco, which is really nice. Do absolutely love to see it. And from Grimer here, it's probably Eviolite, but with the burn, we do have Sotodle in the back. Sotodle is probably just going to go out and just send out a nice little Ice Shard. We'll go just for the Ice Shard and the Grassy Pledge play there. Not really too much, I think, can be done on Wade's end. So, a pretty solid game one from us. Okay, he's going to be that guy. He's really cool and stuff. But, to be fair, running the clock and protecting out a turn or two just to sort of gauge a game 2 plan is not a problem at all. He's in a position where he can look to do that, and if it helps him win game 2 or even win the set, you know, all power to him. I don't know how that Sea of Fire knockout gets taken out. I think it might be Fuecoco because Fuecoco dealt the damage. Information and stuff we will discuss. So, a lot of that was pretty nice. The only one thing I am a little bit upset that I did was kind of reveal that upper hand, mainly for that Dratini. But the Dratini isn't Terra Normal, so there's not going to be any massive Giga Impacts that come out towards us, which we were pretty heavily prepared for. Like, between that and the Terra Normal Extreme Speeds, because Dratini, I've been watching Wade run through just a lot of the competition. Just so that Dratini just be able to put out absolutely massive numbers. So, we'll see how that ends up in the game 2, whether it is brought or not. It is Terra Steel, and there's no Scarf, so I imagine the Grimer is probably going to be Eviolite, unless there's an Eviolite on the Dratini, but I still have pretty big doubts about that. No Terra's burnt from either side. I kind of wanted to hold Terra just because it's pretty tough to know for certain how things might end up throughout the game. So it's a lot of just uncertainty. I think I will change up the lead a little bit here, though. The screen was really nice, but I think I might go a Diglett Snivy lead with Fuecoco, and I think Sotodle fourth. I think that is a pretty pretty fine game 2 adjustment, just to see what might be led, to see if there is a lead that Wade's got that helps deal with it. It is the same 2 lead again, however, it might not necessarily be the same 2, if that makes sense. So what I'm thinking about here, I think probably just going for that same Reflect again turn 1 definitely doesn't hurt. And I think I might go for a Terror here right off the bat. It does seem a bit wild, but there is the Fake Out that can come out here. And I think it's more likely to hit Diglett than it will be for the Slowpoke. And I will throw it out on the Diglett rather than the Snivy, sorry. That's what I meant to say. So we don't have any of our Terrors for anything else in the back, but I think we can manage without it. Hopefully we can manage without it. We do have, like, Sucker Punch or anything for the Zorua if that does come out and if that is the case. They're going straight for a Helping Hand, so it looks like they're probably going for, like, a big Helping Hand attack here. It's the Burning Jealousy that's coming out here, so that's really big damage onto both of us. So that is the Zorua there, which is pretty nice to know. We were Sash, so we were always living said hit. But it is a little bit rough there. But I will probably not even worry about going for said Light Screen. I might look at... It was faster than us as well, because it was Scarfed. Because it's Scarfed, does he want to stay in? He is incinerating, so I don't really want to bring in Fuecoco, because Berry is of value. But I do think it's worth probably Grass Pledging, and I think just Sucker Punching the Zorua for the time being. Just getting that off the field, the Zorua could get a double knockout here, which we kind of do want to avoid, so that is the Scarf gone. We do know there's Grimer in the pocket as well. We do get the Grass Pledge here as well, and that does pretty much bang on half, and we know that the Snivy, it should be faster, because we are EV to outspeed those guys. So the main thing that the Snivy won't be faster than at this point in time is the Mankey, if the Mankey is brought forth. Which it might possibly be brought forth, I'm not 100% certain. Yeah, we do see the Slowpoke there. I have a sneaking suspicion that the fourth is probably going to be said Grimer. It's back into the Pawmi again. The Pawmi might look to Fake Out, honestly, and I'm thinking I'm probably going to go into Fuecoco. And I think I am going to... What the Pawmi Terra type? It's Terra Flying, which is a little bit annoying, but I think it's fine to honestly just throw a Tantrum into that into the Slowpoke, I think. Because I think if Trick Room does end up going up, we can look at throwing out a Fire Pledge to have a look at getting some damage there. So there is the Fake Out, and there was no Terra on the Pawmi as well. So we get a little bit of Tantrum damage onto there, good little bit of chip there. There's the Trick Room, not a problem at all. We do have Sucker Punch pressure coming out from the Diglett as well. We also do have the option to throw out a Protect. I'm feeling Wisp is probably the stronger play into the Slowpoke this turn. I'm not too sure what to do with Diglett. I think I'm fine letting Diglett go down and looking to throw out a Tantrum into the Pawmi. I think that is fine. I think that's I feel happy with running that line for the time being. Because while we've got Diglett in here, we might as well get him in here doing a little bit of damage. So we do get the Wisp off on the Grimer again, which is really nice. Which is, yeah, like a lot of the physical pressure that can be put off there is nice. So we do see Diglett go down as well. There's depending on what's last, I have a feeling what might be coming in here. I have a feeling we're probably going to just run straight into Sotottle. Sotottle is slow, but not really slower than anything else that could be coming out here. I'm expecting it to be Grimer, and it is said Grimer. So I do think it is a Sotottle angle here for absolute certainty. I don't think it's Snivy at the moment. I think Snivy will be really nice once Trick Room is gone, because we will be able to get a cheeky pinch with our hit onto the Pawmi, because we do have Overgrow this week. So I do believe I kind of want to just throw a Wisp into Ronald, and I think for Sotottle, I think for this turn, I'll check the screens I have. 4 turns Reflect. So I think this turn, I might run up a Protect. Run up a Protect, see how that ends up going. Because we could see some like knockoffs or anything like that. There's a Protect from the Grimer, which is a bit rough. We'll see if Wade calls me out here on my Protect on the Sotottle. But I feel Sotottle is still looking pretty fine on that end. He does call it out. Good play from Wade there. That bouncing off. We do get the Wisp. The Will-O-Wisp is into that Protect there. I do feel pretty good. The Slowpoke is Terra Dark. I do think I'm just going to go for that Wisp again. I am going to have a look at throwing just a high horsepower. Oh, do I go? No, I could probably go for Crash into that slot. I'll go for Crash into that slot. Crash will be boosted. We're running Sheer Force, so we do have the boost there for that. If there's a double into Sotottle here, it'll probably do a decent bit of damage. Probably not too much. Unless if there's a knockoff into an attack. But the Slowpoke's burnt and reflects up. So I have a feeling Sotottle's going to be sitting relatively comfortable into like all of these. So he does go into the Pawmi here in this last turn of Trick Room. The second last turn of Trick Room, sorry. And we are going to see a Zen Headbutt that's going straight into Fuecoco again. Fuecoco's still not in range there, and we do see the Ice Ball Crash come down. Close to a knockout, but not quite. We do have the Wisp. The Will-O-Wisp misses. That's a little bit funny, to be honest. And from here, we are just going to simply double Protect. Not risk anything. No reason to risk anything there. And then with the Grimer in... What could be a really good play from Wade, actually, if he doubles. If he doubles and gets Pawmi in and just called us hard, that's a really good play. But fortunately, the play was not made from us there. We do get the double Protect. I get to stall off. I am hoping a little bit that we are able to pick up the Pawmi with an Ice Shard. We're not going to pick up the Pawmi with an Ice Shard anymore. That was a really good heal pulse. Really good tech there from Wade there. But we do have the superpower come out, so we're not really going to be able to do that anymore. The Slowpoke does go down there. We did have the option to Shard, but there could have been, like, even like a Fake Out into that heal pulse. That would have been, like, a really good play as well. Just didn't really want to do anything of the sort like that. So hopefully we should be fine here. What I am going to do, I will attempt to Wisp the Grimer. And I think with Sotottle, I will just go into Snivy and sort of sacrifice it. For the time being, I think sacrificing it is probably fine. And if it isn't sacrificed, we will have an opportunity to potentially look at getting up a screen again, or even setting up the Fire Sea. But we do see a Terra as well, so this would be the Terra I'm going to imagine from the Alolan Grimer. So it is nice to sort of scout that Terra out a little bit there as well, because we could have thrown out a high horsepower into it, but now we do get to hold off and we just get to throw off Ice Ball Crashes into it. There's the Super Fang. Who does that miss? It misses the Snivy. That wouldn't have done too much. We do get the Wisp into it as well, so we're looking really hot right now. We did expect the Super Fang to come out, and we weren't expecting too much to happen from there. We do lose our Berry, which kind of sucks, but I think for now we are in a relatively fine spot. I won't even worry about the Reflect. I am more priority heavy on getting that Fire C up. And I'm going to throw both moves into the Pour Me. We are faster than it with the Snivy. And there's no Protect. It is a checked button, but it's fine because there's no Protect coming out there. So we do have the chip coming out there. That is an absolutely monster knockout from there. Those pledge moves, when they're combined, they are very powerful moves. So we do have that there. The Snivy might go down, but honestly, it's not a problem. I think Fuecoco might run through with the rest of that. So yeah, Snivy does go down, not a problem. We are looking in an incredible position to run this out with the Will-O-Wisp chip alongside the Burn chip as well. Plus, Fuecoco being able to hit it super effectively with Fire Pledges going forward. I think we're looking in an exceptional spot, especially with full HP Sotodle running up the back here. So I think I am just going to have a look at just going for that Fire Pledge, and I'll also look at going for an Ice Shard as well. The Ice Shard there is just guaranteed damage, and it's really nice for us. That's cancelled there. I'm probably going to give that to Fuecoco. So yeah, look at that. We are 4-0-8-0. We are absolutely killing it. We are killing it. We're doing really well. GG's to Wade. Wade has made a trade. He does have a much stronger draft now, in my opinion, with the trade that he has made. If you want to hear about that stuff or watch Wade's perspective, definitely go through, check out his end. He's a really good mate of mine, and yeah, I wouldn't be in this league without him, so I owe a lot to him in that regard. So we will be back with week 5. Next week, we'll be going up against eMburst, who's currently 3-0. I don't know how his week 4 has gone, but he's going to be a titan to knock down. So I have a feeling we can do it, but we've really got to lock in.